I want our church to have more. I want me and Amber to have more. I want my grandkids to have more. I want David to have more. I want all you guys to have more. But no matter what I want, it don't make a difference. I can want you to do anything in the world. Don't mean it's going to happen. I want to work out. I really do, because I know I need to work out. But Zeke, if I hurt so bad, I'm already hurt, and I dang sure don't want to think about squats. And I need to be doing them. I know I need to be doing them. I know I need to be stretching, but it hurts. I got to do it anyway. But the thing is that I have to guard my heart, because if I lose motivation, do y'all realize last week, and I've shared this with AJ and shared this with my father-in-law, when we spoke last week about the whole Azusa Street, how Prohibition came out and all that, and then the Great Depression and the crash and all that stuff, do you realize that that is actually prophetic of where we're getting ready to be? We are getting ready to be. And I'm going to tell you this. I've seen it, not just here, but in every church that I've ever been involved in. When the church decides to make the right moves and start doing the right thing. When a person, I've seen it countless times, when a person decides to do the right thing, understand this. Satan is not going to go, great job, Dory. I appreciate that. Heck no. He's not going to. That's not his job. He's on the job 24/7, and his minions are doing the same. They're keeping an eye out. They're watching this thing. Because the thing is that the minute you make the determination, our church is starting to move in the right direction, what can we expect? Attack. We have to put safeguards in place. I was telling AJ about why our insurance is so high. How much is our insurance?
Well, I just looked at it. It's $634 every 3 months.
$200 a month.
Yeah,
is our insurance.
It used to be like
and you know why? You know why? Two things. The primary thing that drives it is liability. Liability. A playground set is the worst thing you can have in your yard as a church. And why? Kids can play on it. If it's fenced, guess what? To a certain degree, then you can say it. But even within that, it's got to be cameras to prove somebody's negligence. That you've done your part to do it. If you make the decision to go on the fence, now you're, but even within that. But the point is that churches are getting sued at a huge rate. Even like I was telling AJ, why in the old days you'd go to the church and what would they offer you? Counseling. Yeah, I got counsel with my pastor. I got counsel with my teacher, something like that. Do you realize that that is a legal term that the church cannot use? Because if you say that you counsel somebody, you've offered them legal advice. And if your counseling fails, you are liable for that right there. So you can't do counseling. A little kid goes into the bathroom. I've told y'all the story about when Amber and I had, because we had two people that always was in that nursery. And bathrooms, one person didn't go in the bathroom with a kid. You had to make sure that everything was transparent, everything was seen. And I remember, I take this little boy in the bathroom, and he said, I got paid. And I said, great, fantastic. So what do you think it does? I look down there, and he's peeing directly on the toilet bowl. I mean, on the tank. And it's like chipping the paint off. He's doing some serious peeing. And I'm like, oh, crap, who can clean this stuff up? What am I going to do? I can't guide it. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Now, I ain't going to touch him. So I grab him by his pants in his shirt collar, and I go, and I'm holding him parallel to the toilet. True story. And he's done. When he's done, I go, true story. Amber, did I not do this? What was I supposed to do? Because I'm telling you something, parents are looking for reasons, and people are so happy. And so churches are a huge target because why? They want to destroy the spiritual influence in America. That's why the insurance rates are so high, because if we can make it to where the churches can't afford to be in business, we'll have to shut it down, because you can't afford to have a church without insurance. That's the whole point. You got to understand, business wants churches done, because now we've killed spiritual influence. So we as a church have to guard ourselves. That's why, like if you go to church, do you realize that in bigger churches, what they do, they have policemen who guard the tithes? Do you know another rule that should be done? And we're going to have to get there eventually. But the thing is that you know that one person, when I was only, my father-in-law was over all the ushers at the house of prayer. You would always have a minimum of 2 people counting the money. And they said, Monty, well, you need the keys to the safe and the combination. I said, no, I do not. They said, oh, yes, you do. And I was like, no, I refuse the keys and the combination to the safe. But you're an elder, and you're a deacon, and you're an usher. And I was like, I don't care. If I don't have combination, AJ, and the keys, AJ, guess what money is not accountable for? Money. I'll sit in there. I'll be happy. We will all double count everything. That's what we did. Every Sunday, we would double count everything. Why? It was stewardship. Stewardship. Being faithful with what God gave you. So the thing is that what we're doing, we're setting in motion these things that we have to understand. We have to understand what we're doing. And so one of the things is that if they can come in and destroy this church, because we are now starting to make good progress. And how do you think a thing gets destroyed? You ever consider that? Think about it like this. If, Dory, what are the odds of you being tempted to rob a bank? None? None whatsoever.
I got a plan.
So the thing is that it's not going to be the things that's out of your thing. So ask yourself this question. If you got kids, and there is an old saying that blood is what?
Thicker than water.
And the thing is that Mama Amber told me this. She said, this is absolute truth. She says, your mama can talk about the kids all she wants to. You better not say a word. And the thing is that if somebody talks about your kids and says something about your kids, even if they're stupid, what are you going to do?
You'll fight.
Any attack from without, you're going to attack. You're going to fight. A church is not destroyed from without. A church is destroyed from within. A family is not destroyed from without. A family is destroyed from within. Think about this. An outside attack, you have an enemy we can rally against. I remember when they tried to shut our church down. I was like, we're getting ready to know some things. You know, if y'all remember the conversation, I said it. We're going to know some things. I said, we're going to know, does God really want us here? Because if he don't want us here, what's going to happen is he's going to move us somewhere else, which I'm okay with that. I can see the benefits of being somewhere else. Especially if you've got water around it. And swim pools. Air conditioning. Things like that you need. But the other side of it is, I said, well, and I'm also going to find out if God wants me to be doing this job anymore. Because if he shuts this thing down, he's going to lay me off. Guess what, AJ? I'm okay with that too. I would like to be like some people that, well, I just don't want to go to church today. There's days I don't want to go to church. I assure you. And it's usually about 7 of them a week. I don't want to go to church. I go to church because this is where my God is at. This is what my service is. My human body does not want to. I'm thinking, man, that's be a good day to go to this, good day to do that. Everything cool happens on Sunday. Does it not, AJ? Yeah. It is the one day a week that we can do for ourselves. And I love it. I love it when people use the dumb analogy, well, I can go sit on the creek bank and go hunt and be just as close with the Lord. Okay. It's not about being close with the Lord, being close with one another. There's the point. The Bible's specific. Forsake not the assembling together. So I have to guard my heart. I have to understand why I do what I do. Because I know where I'm trying to get to, AJ. I've got a limited amount of time to make the most of my life because you realize I'm getting old fast. And it's going to get faster. I've got about 3 years of productivity left, of good solid productivity. So about 65, 66, it's going to start hitting a real big wall. I've got a few years now, and ideally I've got about a year of really hard work. Then after that, I'm going to have to start tapering down, if not sooner. So what am I going to do for this next year? I don't have time. What's that meme say? Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for the attacks. I don't have time for this. How do you deal with it? Let God deal with it. If somebody attacks you, don't dwell on it. Amber and I talked about something within the family, and I said, I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to dwell on it. I can't fix something. I can't fix my daughter. I can't fix my grandkids. I can't fix David. I can't fix her. I can't fix me. What can I fix? Where I go to. God, I don't have time for this. I need you to be God. Take care of this issue. I'm not going to dwell on it because if I dwell on it, what is it going to produce, David? The negative. It's going to produce the negative effects in my life. If I want blessings, I have to set my heart upon blessings and things that are going to make me peace. And if I've got an idiot that comes to my house and is dragging me down, guess what I'm going to do? Bam! I'm locking the door, just like everyday Zane. Let's go. But my sister, I have a sister, and that's what she would do with her kids. She would turn her kids out during the day and lock the door. Go. Get gone. Is it any surprise what her kids turned into? You turn them loose. If we want blessings, we have to decide. We have to be wary. We have to understand. Said we're to be as wise as serpents. We have to understand the way of the serpent. We have to understand how we're being manipulated. What are we being fed? What do we allow ourselves to dwell on? Because if our own heart will deceive us and tell us to give up, quit, because we can't even put our guard down about that. But you ask yourself, why? Why? Why all this? What did God tell the children of Israel after he told them to do something? What did he tell them to do? He told the children of Israel, when you go into this land, get rid of all this influence. When you're first made a Christian, what are you told to do?
Clean your house.
Clean your house. You're told to do that. You're advised to do that. There's a lot that says, no, God, I like this. This is not bad. It's got a few cuss words. And yes, the brief nudity, I like it. I don't like it. It's just part of life. Yes, you like it. It's a thing, and it's your human nature to like the carnal. That's your human nature. It's just what you are. You have to make the decision. What am I going to do? I love the verse that says, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. We're going to do these things. We're going to make this decision that we're going to fight this fight. I am not, if somebody does me wrong, I'm not going to retaliate against them because I'm going to give it to God. If someone tries to do these things, I'm not going to dwell on them. If you don't want to pay me to do this job, then guess what? I'm not going to have no part of you. I'm gone. If you don't want, I can get it done cheaper. Okay, go. But get it done better. I challenge you. Get it done better. I want to get it done. That's my vision and my road is to get this thing done. I have to get myself in order because I choose blessings for my family. I'm not going to walk around. I cannot, pastor, you sit like this. I cannot stop the birds from flying over my head. And occasionally they're going to take a poop right on top of your head. You can't stop that crap. Okay? You can't stop it. But what can you stop, Amber? What is making a nest? What is holding you back? What is holding you back? Is it your tithes that's holding you back? Is it your work that's holding you back? In other words, what I mean by work, I'm talking about spiritual development. We're going to be talking about tithes. We're going to go back into this thing because the thing is you have to understand this thing. These are biblical principles. And I don't care, well, I can't give 10%. I don't give a crap about that. Be faithful with 1%. You got to start somewhere. Bible says, try me on this. Get to the place of where. Get your mind on it, because I tell you, if you're constantly dwelling on what you can't do, guess what you're always going to achieve? What you can't do. Do what you can. There are people that I know that they start developing, they start growing as Christians, and the next thing you know, something attacks from within. A little thing that gets into their heart, Amber, and starts chewing. It forms a little... I noticed it tingling in my hand, Dory. Didn't think nothing about it. Just burned. And so I'm driving, we're flea market and pushing the cart around. And I'm like, I haven't looked down. And I looked down right there at my thumb, Zeke. It looked like a big old